Alright everybody, sorry about that. I thought I was recording before, but apparently I wasn't. I'm going to show you how to use the creator of mRPG's character sheet that he programmed into the app. You can find it if you look hard enough in the Find Campaign section. I'm not sure if it's still up there. He may have taken it down. But you can join the Discord. There's a link to it in the settings option. If I come over here, you can see join mRPG Discord community. You can always go in there and ask him if he can get you repost his sheet. But here we're going to show you how to build the character with his sheet. First, you'll start with adding your class name and the value, and the modifier will be your level. Note that that's only used with the level up macro, which I haven't quite figured out how it operates yet, but I'll get back to you as soon as I do. Your PC level, up here where it says 4, will not change until you alter your experience to match your level. So because I'm 4, I had to type 2700. Even if your DM uses milestone, just type in the experience. He does, the creator did provide an XP chart all the way down to 20. So the game will recognize you all the way up to 20th level. Alright, now when it comes to race, he added quite a few races. He had 34 in total. You would pick your race from that list. If your race is not in that list, then you would set your modifier to 0, and you would have to add in the stats later on, which we'll get to. Then we'll come down to the stats. You'll put, if you have a race in the list, you'll put your value, and then let the app take care of your race stats. Like, orcs get +2 to strength, so I had to put 18 into my strength, and then plus race strength, which got me to 20. And it'll figure out your mod and everything for you. If you have a race that is not listed, you can either delete where it says, in this example, race int. You can either delete that and put the racial stat, or you can do +2 or -2 or whatever your racial increment is for anything that's a homebrew race. Coming down to the saves, you'll see here the way the sheet is set up is that all you have to do is change your modifier. You don't want to change anything in the expression. If you are proficient, put 1. If you are not proficient, don't worry about it, because I don't believe you can add expertise to saves. But adding that 1 in modifier has upgraded my strength save from a 5 to a 7, because it is adding my proficiency. As far as AC is concerned, I, as a barbarian, added 10 plus dex mod plus con mod. You could also put 10 plus 7. You could put 17. It doesn't matter, as long as you get your total number. Bonus gear mod is for magic weapon, magic items, shields, etc. As you can see, add any plus bonuses from rings, boots, necklaces, shields, etc. Then you do your total HP. You just fill in your HP, max and current. Temporary HP is, of course, only if you have temporary HP. Condition, I put green. That just means that she's in good condition. You can put good under your condition, it doesn't matter. That's just so the player can keep track in case, like, you're in combat and then you end up, the player ends up falling asleep. When they wake up, they don't forget that they were fatigued or something. They can look into their sheet and still see fatigued next to condition, or unconscious, or paralyzed, something like that. Hit dice, I changed the DX and the value to my actual hit dice. I haven't figured out how to operate the modifier. It works with the level up macro. I'll let you know as soon as I figure out how that works. Sorry, I had to take a sip. Initiative fills in automatically. Speed. You have to, obviously 25, 30, whatever your speed is. He was kind enough for all the base classes to give you what your skill list is for that class. And he was also kind enough to provide the player's handbook backgrounds and what skills they offer. Same thing with the saves. You'll come in, and if you are regular proficient, you will change the modifier to a 1. If you have expertise for double proficiency, you'll change the modifier to 2. It doesn't matter if you set your modifier to 4, 6, 12, 87, or 2. They're all gonna provide the same result as if you had double expertise, double proficiency. My apologies. If you are not proficient, just leave it at 0. The app will figure everything out from there. It automatically does your passives. Your main hand. I'll use another one for an example. Next to weapon name, you put your weapon name in the in the hitbox. You would change where it says ability modifier to either strength-mod. Make sure you put the colons around it. So you could either do STR-MOD colon, and that would be if you're a strength weapon, or you would do the same thing but dex-mod, and that would be for a finesse weapon. You'll want to, down in the damage section, you'll want to delete where it says damage die. This section right here, if it lets me highlight it. Yeah. Not all that. Hold on. You'll want to delete that section, and you'll want to replace it with whatever the die is that you use for that weapon. For a great axe, if I recall correctly, it's a D12. And then in the in the main hand, it also includes another ability mod section. So obviously replace that with strength or dex depending on the weapon. Gives you up to 4 weapons and a ranged weapon, so you can keep that in mind. The actions, points, and marks section. This character being a barbarian has 2 rages or 3 rages. I forget. I'll have to double check. But so I put a total of 2, and I came down to rage, and I put 2. For spell casting, we're actually going to move on over into the other sheet that I was using right here, because this is going to help explain the spell casting a little bit better. So let's scroll down to spell casting. Okay, so down here you're going to go to like your casting class and level. This doesn't really affect the sheet too much, but see, please enter for clarity, not referenced for anything. Example, wizard/2. So basically, if you were a sorcerer and you were 7th level, you would put sorcerer/7. That's, again, just for reference. Casting ability will, by default, say stat-mod. You're basically just going to want to delete stat and replace it with whatever your casting stat is. In this example, sorcerer would be charisma. After that, it fills in everything else on its own. Then you can add your spells as necessary, and then backstory, personality, description, features, and traits are all player-based. Proficiencies you can add in. I usually do armor, weapon, tools, and skills, but it's up to you and your DM, whatever you fill out in there. And then your languages section, you just fill out your languages. The cool thing about this app is that I can go with the macro and go #main hand attack. Alternatively, I can also go :main hand, and then you'll see if I hit enter, it sends both of them the exact same way. It's just the top one lets the DM know that you're sending an attack and you're not just looking at your weapon for its stats and everything. But as you can see, it makes the to hit roll and the damage roll. And also, using this example, you can go fireball, send that, and it'll send the long description of fireball. Tells you that, the enemy's got to make a dexterity save of 15, and it tells you how much damage they take. The app does all that for you. And I think that's all pretty neat. So for those of us who were waiting for me to launch a combat tutorial, before it was a lot of work to do a combat tutorial because it was a lot of work, but it was really simple because it was just like, all you have to do is type / 1d20 plus and then whatever modifiers. And that was it. But now that I have this new sheet, the combat's a little bit different and it should be a lot easier for players to understand. It's also difficult for me to actually find a player who's okay with their name being out there due to the way the app works. So it's difficult for me to find a volunteer to actively do combat for you guys. But it's not a difficult procedure at all. Macros will be your best friends. I will show you how to create macros when I have to actually create macros. But that's all. Hope that helps.